Welcome back. Happy Thursday. Happy pre-Labor Day weekend. Long weekend for everybody, hopefully. Congratulations, you've made it through 100% of your worst days, and you will get through the rest of your worst days as well. Hopefully, you're doing the wise thing and getting your financial house in order. But before we get going, speaking of house, we're going to take care of a little housekeeping here. I am not Lee Majors. I'm not Richard Anderson. I'm not Martin E. Brooks. I'm not Lindsey Wagner. And I'm definitely not Farrah Fawcett. And for those of you who are you already got what show I'm talking about here, you know that it is one of the best shows ever as a kid who grew up in the 70s. It is the $6 Million Man. So I'm not any of those folks, and I'm not your financial advisor. You gotta do your own research. I'm just some dude on the internet sharing with you my crypto DeFi journey, and hopefully you're learning something from it. But that's all it is. I'm not your friend. I'm just some guy who's putting out stuff. You got to do your own research, validate if what I'm saying is true, or if what I'm saying is false. But anyway, make your own decisions for what's best for you. But anyway, well, I tell you what. My brother and I could not wait for the $6 Million Man. It was the best. The sound, the old 1970s sound effects, and the running suit that he had too, the red running suit, and I had the Bionic Man. I had with the sleeve that rolled up so you could see the little plastic chip implanted in his arm. You could look through the back of his head and had a little plastic magnifying glass in it. And you made the sound when you would jump, and then when he'd listen, you'd be. It was the best, dude. All of you know what I'm talking about. Anybody who knew the $6 Million Man knew that. And Lee Majors, boy, what a player, man. He was married to Farrah Fawcett, and hey, listen, every red-blooded American male here, regardless of what your background is. Farrah Fawcett was fine. She was the first. She was one of the first supermodels too, by the way. But anyway, I'll leave that alone. It's not polite to talk about a dead woman. I know I'm kind of digressing, but again, my wife shouldn't be jealous of a dead woman. But every dude had a little crush on Farrah Fawcett. She had that $1 million smile. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone and let it go. Listen. I'm going to go ahead and get right into this because this takes a little time, but I want you guys to see it. I'm going to try and walk you guys through. This thing is working out exactly like I planned. So just compounded this morning for the piggy banks that I have stakes in still. But as you can see, I'm just going to run through this and just kind of copy in what my totals here. Let me click off and get the most recent price points here of what I'm actually compounding here. It's not going to be exact or accurate, so 135, I'm just going to do the numbers as a whole. 135 here, we're going to get the totals of what I have going here, and then I'll walk you through this. Basically, I'm going to claim these different, these unstaked piggy banks, and I'll walk you through the rest. So 58, 6, and 28. 56, 6, and 28. Okay. So here's my total of what I should have in LP after I claim, or actually in total drip and BUSD. Or I'm sorry, not drip, in pigs and BUSD after I claim, right? So I've already checked my total here on my MetaMask in terms of my assets, and I'm at $17 and some change. And so I'll see after I split these. But let's go ahead and I'm going to actually claim these. I want to make sure I sell these, right? So I'm going to sell this one. Okay, and basically, again, like I said, I'm selling all of these, and then I'm going to break up 50% of those, break up the LP, pigs, LP, pigs, BUSD, LP, and then I'm going to basically split the remaining 50% that I have not broken up and make 2 new piggy bank stakes, which I'll walk you through again, right? And I don't want to sell. I got to be careful here while I'm talking because I'll make a mistake here and do something I don't want to do. So just bear with me here because I want to show you the actual actions, right? Sell. So these should all go down to 0, the ones that I have. And so when I, again, in the morning when I compound, I'll start rolling these again until the last week of the month. And you'll see that, again, those will be higher in value then. But again, the nice thing about letting it roll for 7 or 8 days like this is that I'm not going to impact my interest that I'm earning, which I'll get into in a second here, right? So let me click off of this and click back on to make sure that it's done. And so, yeah. So I've sold all of them, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to Pancake Swap. I'm going to connect the wallet. And then we'll basically go to liquidity here. And we're in. And then we'll go to liquidity. And it's loading it up for me. All right, so I basically, in LP, I have 13.13 LP that I claim from those 4 unstaked piggy banks, and I want to remove liquidity, okay? And this is where you go into, you make sure when you're clicking on Pancake Swap that you actually go to the right site, right? So I'm going to remove 50%, okay? And what that's going to do is it's showing me what I'm going to get, 57 bucks in BUSD, okay? And I'm going to keep that. I'm going to buy some BNB later because I'm getting a little bit low. And I'm getting 0.76 worth of pigs here, right? So let me just copy that. Oops. Because I'm going to use that, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and enable it. And I'm going to add that 0.76 to my piggy bank. And this is lower than it was last time just because the contract's been going down as well as the price of pigs. Now I'm going to remove this. I'm going to confirm. Okay. And then once this is completed, right, I'm going to go back over and I'm going to check my MetaMask here and see what it's still pending. So it's not going to show up. There you go. Now it's done. So I'm going to go back over to my MetaMask. Oops, MetaMask run a little bit slow because I'm recording this. I'm going to go to my assets. I'm going to copy this. You can see that that number, I had 17 and some change in there from earlier, so I'm just going to copy this, and I'm just kind of keeping track on my little good old spreadsheet here in terms of where I'm at with things, right? And so this is what I have claimed from the piggy bank by splitting the LP, half of the LP that I sell from those 4, right? I have almost 200 bucks that I've claimed, and then I've obviously I had have some pigs tokens, a little bit shy of 1 pig that I'm going to be adding as well, which should push me up over to 22. But we'll cross that bridge later. Let me just save this while I have it here, right? And then I want to get ready for my piggy bank stats here. I'm going to add this up as we go. So there we go. So there we have it there. So let's go over to the actual piggy bank and let's see what I have in. Oops, excuse me. I'm getting ready to sneeze here, so I apologize. You know I'm a one-take Tommy. So all right. So I have 6.56 left in pig, so I'm at 3.28 and some change that I'm going to add for each new stake, right? And then I'm going to do the first one. I do it in 57 weeks. I like to do the 57 weeks because it puts versus the 52, which is which is it gives me 3,800 for 1 year. I go 57, and that gives me 5,000% here. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the piglets. All right, and that should be there, and I want to just update my spreadsheet here. Excuse me. In terms of the amount that I had, I think it's 56 bucks that I had for each one of these, and I'll adjust that, fix that later. But I want to get that while I'm at it, right? We'll see how many pigs that gets us, how many piglets that gets us. And I got to click off. I should have number 12. All right, so that got me, ooh, look at that, 186, and I'll look at the stats here in a second. Truffles, or I'm sorry, piglets to start out with, and that's going to be nice, right? So let me just add that to the total here, and I'll go and update the rest of this, right? And I want to add the max payout. I'll do that. Oops. I'll do that after. Sorry, this is kind of rambling on. But again, you got to concentrate on this stuff. Let me go back and add the other one that I'm going to add here, and then I'm just going to do the remainder. Oops, you see it again. This is something they've got to fix. I'm not going to crush them on it, right? Keep doing this every time, but I only do this monthly, right? Let me just copy this. There we go, and I'm going to do the maximum of 156 weeks, and then I'll take you over to DeFi Buddy and show you what that looks like, because, boy, the bonuses on this are going to be really, really nice, okay? So I'm going to Buy those. 156. We should be good. And my plan is coming together, baby. All right. Transaction successful. So let me just double check up here to make sure that that went through. Click off again, just so you guys know that if instead of refreshing, if you click off on the side links, you don't have to re-log into your wallet again. I know that's kind of a big hassle. It's not a hassle. It's just an annoyance for me. All right, so there we go. 184. Got a little bit less, but this doesn't matter because this thing is going to skyrocket past everything that I have right now in the piggy bank, right? So let me do this. Okay, boom. I'll copy that other one over in a second. Actually, let's do it now while I'm at it. Like tracking things, as you can see. All right, and then I want to get my, and I'll fill these dates in later. I want to get my prior max payout here as well. So I'm going to click on this piggy bank, and I'm going to scroll down once it loads. I also, again, I'm a big drip.formulate.finance guy too. I use both of those tools regularly. Okay, so max payout is actually, let me go over here to the piggy bank because that's what I want to do here. All right, I'm going to put that in here, here. Let me go back. And again, this is just good to know because I refer back to this all the time when I'm looking at the piggy bank in terms of where things are, right? So, you know, again, I think that this is really a solid thing to do. So there we go. I'll fill these dates in later, right? You know, just because it's quick to do, and I'll update the spreadsheet. I'm not going to bore you all with all of this information, right? And I'm going to fill all the information in down here as well. But let's go over to DeFi Buddy here just to kind of show you. I'm going to refresh this, and then I'm going to show you what those payouts in terms of bonuses are going to be, right? So these are the last two that I did on August 1st, right? So I'm going to run simulator here. You can kind of see after a month of what my Piglet bonus is daily here. You can see how it's running up in the 600s, and that's the 57-week stake for last month. And then when I do the same thing, excuse me, on the 156-week one for the 84,000 and some change that I got, I'm getting 5,000 Piglet bonus on that one. Now, let's look at these new ones I just added. This is the 57-week one, right? I'm getting 1,000 versus the 500 that I'm just starting out. This thing is going to creep up by the end of the month as well, right? And oh, this one's going to be good. Let's look at this one. I'm already getting 10,000 a day just from that you know, $56 worth of LP that I put into this, right? I mean, it's getting me a lot, and it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. Look at that thing, man. So this thing is going to just skyrocket past everything, and wait for the man. I can't wait for the price of you know, pigs to go back up and the contract in the piggy bank. So, but anyway. That is that. We've done that. You guys can go back and slow this down. I'm not going to make you watch me fill out the rest of the spreadsheet there or the things that I kind of track here because I want to get you guys out for the holiday weekend, baby. I get to go to the Michigan CSU game with my son and my good friend from Colorado when we used to live out there. He's coming in town because he went to CSU, and that's going to be an awesome, awesome time. College football is back. And by the way, got a challenge for the Cryptozoa guys there, JC Crypto and Mikey. JC, I know you don't like to, and you may not even watch this, but I know you don't like the piggy bank. But I challenge you, if you like the garden, to just put a stake in. I challenge you to put a $50 stake in that's unstaked, and you'll earn your 3.33% just like you do the garden. It's just once a day. Or you can just let it roll. You don't even have to. You don't have to do it once a day. And then Mikey, I challenge him to put in one for at least 57 weeks. But I challenge you to put it in for the same $50, just like I did, for the full 156 weeks. And let's see who ends up having more. If we're all long on drip and the ecosystem that we are in, but I challenge you guys. And whoever, you know, does this and comes out on top, I think we need to have a haircut challenge, right? We need to make Mikey, maybe we can get them to take a vote on what hairstyle Mikey needs to get if he doesn't come out on top, and what JC will get if he doesn't come out on top after, let's just go with a month. Let's go with a month and see what happens there. I'll I'll see if they even listen to this, but I'd like to see something like that. All right, so on to Flare Network. They've been announcing partnerships big time, and they're supposed to launch here potentially on the 4th, but sometime in this beginning of September here. So the price is super cheap right now as well. And I've covered this as well, but this is another one, right? So basically you can delegate some of your votes or some of your earnings from your delegation to Lena Instruments, right? And they're partnering with Flare, and they're basically doing crowdfunding. So these projects that want to get started and launch here on the Flare network, they can petition to get funding from all of us who are delegating our FTSO votes here, right? And so, again, it's one of those things that's innovative, it's awesome, it's trustless, it's not going to cost me anything. If I want to take out 1% of my, twice weekly earnings to delegate to this, I'll either get tokens or NFTs or whatever it is that they're building. Hopefully they're utility NFTs. I still am threatening to cover what my philosophy on NFTs, right? I'm not a JPEG NFT guy, but anyway. But this thing is super, super exciting and awesome. So, again, it's a Medium article here. I'll leave the link to this in the description so you all can find this and kind of go from there. But again, I think that this is super exciting, super innovative. There's so many projects that are, already building on Flare before it's even launched, and it's going to be one of the biggest airdrops in the history of crypto and DeFi. So keep your eyes on Flare and Songbird, their Canary network, and we'll go from there. So, and then listen, the rule of 72. Okay, I'm going to do something, and I'm going to pull over the calculator here and just kind of talk about the rule of 72, right? So basically, if you take the interest rate of what you're being paid and divide 72 by that interest rate number, that'll tell you how long it'll take your asset to double, right? So whether you're looking to try and see how long it'll take for money or fiat currency, or let's say in the instance of my piglets, I'm going to hit 15 million piglets here, right? So we'll cover that in a second. And I'm earning 3.33% in my piggy banks, right? I've been pretty good and pretty consistent about that. And actually, let's go look at that. I want to show you guys this before I get too far ahead onto the calculator here. These unstaked piggy banks that I have here, right? I've claimed those, still earning 3.33% because there was only one negative action by me selling those. Instead of me selling every day, I just sold after letting it roll for 7 days straight, right? So think about that and be strategic with that, right? So let me go back over here. I'll pull up the calculator again. So I'm earning 3.33%. Excuse me. So let's go 72 divided by 3.33 equals 239 days. That's not right. I did something wrong here. Oh, I did the percent, right? Okay, sorry about that. 72 divided by 3.33% gives me this. That's not right. Forgive me. Divided by 3.33%. It's not right. Anyway, the math, I'm not going to kill you on this. I don't know why I'm doing this, what's going on here. So, right, 72 divided by 3.33. That's not right. 21. Oh, there we go. That is right. So, there we go. It's 21. I don't know what happened there. So, all right. So, 3.33%. So, it's 21 days. And if you look at the math here, and I'll show you my garden here real quick, just to kind of show you, right? So, I'm at 248 million, right? So I should be at 2.5 in 21 days. So this is for tomorrow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, right? So 21, 22 here. It's not exactly perfect, but because I'm plus it's 3.33%, but it's approximate, right? So again, your piglets and your garden. So JC Crypto, I'm telling you, if you're a 1% guy, hey, that's on you. Maybe you're an anti-pigletite or an anti-truffleite. Anyway, that's fine if you're good with the 1%. Hey, it's a solo sport, right? But every 21 days, my garden's going to double, right? So just something for you all to think about here. And then so do some research. YouTube search the rule of 72 and then test it for yourself. But this these calculations have been just spot on, man, for the most part. Just been spot on. So, and then with my drip, by the weekend, I'm going to be hitting that 800 milestone. I know I'm not a drip whale by any long stretch. I'm not even close to maxing it out. But by the way, I would have been closer, but I did, at the end of each month, I do sell and claim my drip, and I distribute it to my 4 teammates, actually 3. One person I don't distribute to any longer. But I have 2 personals and then my son, so they each got 2.4, whatever I had over the 24 hours, a little bit more than 24 hours, in terms of what that looks like. And then the 15 million piglets, like I said, by the time this weekend rolls around, for sure, I will hit that 15 million piglet milestone. So, listen, that's going to do it. I want to get you guys out of here in a decent amount of time. Sorry for rambling on. Sorry about the calculator. I'm not apologizing to anybody. I don't, I'm doing this for free. I'm not earning anything from doing this. But listen, be kind to each other. I'm going to leave you a note on something else. Yesterday evening, I got that horrible call from my wife who said, "Hey, we've just in an accident, and the Yukon was totaled and rolled over, and she was with my son. She was dropping off my son after a tennis match at youth group, and my heart just sank. Right, I knew she was all right because she's obviously calling me, but it's the, life is short, and it's the call no one ever wants to get." And she said, my son and her were okay. So my heart just still was in the bottom of my stomach because I was just waiting for her to tell me that he didn't make it, right? But she was nailed in the side, and the other car was much smaller, like a mini SUV that ran a red and T-boned them and flipped our Yukon XL on the side, totaled it. Thankfully, she was just shaken up. He was just shaken up. My son, like a champ, went into action. My wife was kind of in shock with the whole thing. Got her stabilized, talked her through, helped her get out of the top of the Yukon. People came and helped. Michiganders are great people. I know we have our issues, but Michiganders are great people. A ton of people came over to help. Just very thankful to God that they were, alive and unscathed. We just put a $3,000+ transmission, brand new transmission in there, which we'll never recoup, but who cares? It's stuff, right? And this is why we're doing this and investing in this. So be kind to each other. Give your loved ones a hug. Let them know how much you love them. I'm so thankful to God, like I said, that he spared my wife and my son, and, that we're able to celebrate this Labor Day weekend. And, again, don't drink and drive also. Be smart about, how you're celebrating. Don't overdo it. And be generous. Before you are wealthy, be generous now. So that's going to do it. Thank you guys all for watching these videos and subscribing if you have. I'm not doing it for the subscriptions and everything, but I appreciate the likes. I appreciate, the views and everything. And hopefully this is helping you all. So we will talk to you later. Have a great, safe weekend, and we'll talk to you at the next one.